Hi traders, taking a look at the price action here on dollar yen. I think we could actually possibly see a little bit more of a move higher today. Obviously we've been very bullish overnight. We can see on the left hand side here I've got the 30-minute time frame. On the right hand side I've just got a 5-minute time frame there, and I'm looking to see will we expand higher, and my reasonings behind that, very bullish at the moment on the day. This can obviously give traders lots of opportunity in terms of a lot of traders would be looking for this to kind of top out here and try and trade lower, especially on the sort of retail side of things. I think there's a sort of feeling that we could possibly push to the downside here, but that was a very dovish hike from the Bank of Japan. Yes, they've hiked interest rates. That could have caused a very aggressive downside move, but it was very dovish. They've still got quantitative easing in place, and I think they want to try and keep things just under control slightly, so that's why they've gone a little bit more dovish here. I'm just watching price action, and I'm just wanting to discuss this actually because we're at 150 spot 47 now. 150 spot 47 is because of an area on the daily chart, so I'm just going to go up to the daily chart, and I can see here we've got some highs here at 150.80, and we've got the point of control which was around about that 150.48 150.47 of this consolidation. This was the consolidation I was discussing in a previous post on dollar yen after price found support down here, and I think a lot of traders would go wrong here. I think a lot of traders would decide that this is a good area to start short in the market. Now obviously you got to think of what's happening up here. This is an area around about 150.88 where there could be some good sort of liquidity from the daily chart here. You can see there's lots of equal highs up here, lots of shorts must have come in at this point, so I like the idea of price potentially heading towards this area. Now obviously you're probably thinking, well, but there's an area of resistance here. Now areas of resistance and support, yeah, they're great in context, they're great in areas, especially volume profile. I use volume, TPO charts and whatnot, and yeah, you think this is great, but at the end of the day you've also got to think of risk. So I'll come down to the 5-minute time frame here and just discuss this a little bit in terms of what I think about in terms of what price has happened. So you can see here we've obviously found some selling pressure. Okay, so the market's come up around about 150.47s and found some selling. We've pushed to the downside here, back down towards that key level at 150, and the market's rallied again. Now typically this would be an area where these sellers would do one or two things. They'll sell again. Okay, they'll either sell again or they'll look to get out. Now, what do you notice about the rejection here? Well, we started to get lots of aggressiveness, and then price closed up quite high. What that kind of tells me, without having the data to look into, the level 2 data to look into what's happened here, I can only assume that the market came in, rallied back to the upside here, and has then sort of, kind of bailed. Essentially the market's come in, someone's took the other side of those sellers and bought back into the market and closed up higher. Now what I like about this in particular, and this is why I think the market could break out here, you can see we've got a close here which is good for a further upside and potentially up towards 151.40 up to that 151.80, these daily swing highs here. It's simply because the action here from buyers to sellers. Okay, so obviously the market's very bullish, got the VWAP here as well. The market is above this area here, and what's happened is sellers have come in, they've been bought up aggressive. Sellers have come in, they've been bought up really aggressive. Where are these sellers that are short at these points gonna get out? Okay, where are they gonna get out? They're gonna get out as soon as price comes above this area of interest, because they think at that point I could be wrong and I need to start exiting those positions. So what we may actually see is quite a fairly decent run up here if we can hold above this level, because these or sellers here are going to panic. Now, if they get out, what is that going to do? That's going to increase buy orders into the market. So that could obviously influence a bigger move to the upside there. So I like the idea of dollar yen potentially moving back up into these daily swing highs, essentially, on the day. I think that the momentum is behind this market. There's obviously lots of volume in here at the minute. We can obviously check that as well by just going to your indicators, coming down to volume and putting some volume on the charts. Obviously there was lots more volume overnight because it is the yen market. That volume has started to deplete as we've come in towards the sort of middle of the European, or sort of early to middle of the European session. But essentially I like the idea of price staying above this level. If it can stay above it, I think we're going to start extending back up a little bit higher here. The only argument we can make is we are very overextended, but that doesn't mean too much in the terms of the yen. The yen can be quite aggressive anyway. And obviously we've got the opportunity of the US Federal Reserve announcement tomorrow, which could obviously put a little bit more in the way of that move higher. Now, I did a post on Twitter recently just kind of talking about the fact that the Japanese yen could continue higher, in terms of the fact that we do have QE still from the Bank of Japan and whatnot. So I like the idea of price continuing to move to the upside. The only thing I would think about getting out of this market trade for a move higher is if we broke back below this kind of level here, because what that might do is incentivize those sellers that got aggressive here and here. They may think, okay, well, I might have been wrong the first time, but now we're starting to see a bit of a push lower. I'm going to execute further sells here, which could drive back to 150, essentially drive back to VWAP as well. This could be another kind of good entry point to the upside. But I think if we can stay above this level here, then dollar yen might continue up into that sort of 150 spot 88 handle. So thanks for watching this video update. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you in the next video.